I'll read another one. Tonight's story is Peter and the Kites. "What are you making, Michael?" asked Peter. "A kite," said Peter. "That's too small, silly. The kite will be torn to pieces in the wind," said Michael. "Maybe it won't be windy next Saturday," said Peter. "Don't be silly. It'll be blowing a gale. It's always windy in Wellington." Michael laughed. "And that's why they're having a kite flying competition. You can't always be sure that the weather will be fine, but you know it will always be windy." "Well, I like making little kites," said Peter. "Big brothers were pests sometimes," he thought, "always knowing everything and always right. What are you using the ribbon for?" "The tail," said Peter. "A kite needs a tail." "It's silly," said Michael, and he went out of the room. "I bet it won't fly," he called back. Peter worked on his kite, and Glennie came to play. They talked, and Glennie watched Peter finish the kite. "Are you going to the kite flying competition next Saturday?" said Peter. "I don't know. I haven't got a kite," said Glennie. "I've made this kite," said Peter, "and I've got the bird one that I got for my birthday. We could share kites." "It's a bit small, isn't it?" said Glennie. "Will it fly?" "I don't know. Let's try them both," said Peter. They went outside. "It's too windy," said Glennie. "It's blowing a gale. The kites will get broken." "Yes," said Peter, and he put his kites away. All week it was windy. Mother complained because the washing blew off the line, and Dad complained because the rubbish blew into the carport. Peter and Glennie liked the gale. They pretended the wind was making them fly. All week the wind made a roaring noise in the trees. On Saturday, when Peter woke up, he heard only birds singing in the trees. There wasn't any wind. There was no wind at all. It was calm. "Kite flying day," said Michael, "and there's no wind." Peter put his kite in the living room. He went outside to see if there was any breeze. Bobby was curious. He dragged the kite down to the floor, and he got all tangled up in the string. "Bobby, you naughty dog," said Peter. "Have you broken it?" "Peter, leave the kite now," called Mother. "You'll have to hurry. You have to go to school, remember." "But it's Saturday," said Mum, called Michael. "He didn't have to go to school on Saturday." "Yes, he does," said Mother. "Take the spade too." "What are you doing at school?" said Michael. "I'm going to plant a tree," said Peter, "for Arbor Day. When the trees grow, they will shelter the playing fields from the wind." "Hurry up, Peter. Go to school," said Mother. "Dad's waiting there. We want to go kite flying too." Peter put Bobby on the lead. "Come on, Bobby, you can come to school and help me." And they ran to school. One tree in the box had Peter's name on the label. There was a plan on the wall showing where it had to be planted. Peter carried the tree down the steps to the playing field. Dad told him how to plant the tree. "Dig a big hole, and then you get some good topsoil from the pile by the gate." And he planted the tree. When he'd finished, he stamped the ground around the tree, and then he found 2 big stones to put by the trunk. "There, the wind won't blow that tree out," said Peter. "Good boy," said Dad. "Time to go home for lunch, and then we'll go kite flying." "Where's the wind gone?" said Peter. "There's no wind today. I planted a tree to stop the wind, and now I want wind." "It's sure to get windy later," said Dad. "Will we take Bobby?" said Peter. "He might chase all the kites," said Michael. Peter agreed. He hadn't had a chance to see if his kite had been damaged by Bobby. He had a look. No, his kite was fine. At the park there were hundreds of kites. Some kites were very, very big, and they needed 10 people to try to fly them. But there was no wind. Peter tried his little kite. It flew. He ran until he was puffed out and his kite flew. "Look, that boy's got his kite flying," said a man. More people ran up and down trying to get their kites flying, and Peter was surprised. A man from the radio station gave him a prize. Peter could run no more. He was too tired. His little kite flew steadily upwards. A breeze puffed some more kites up into the air, and 2 big kites started to fly. It was getting windy. Peter did not expect the wind to get strong so quickly. His little kite flew higher, and then suddenly the cotton snapped. Peter watched his kite fly away. "Bad luck," said Glennie. "Yes, I planted the tree to stop the wind this morning, and then I wanted wind to fly my kite, and now I've got too much wind and I've lost my kite," said Peter. "That runaway kite might go right round the world," said Glennie. "We must make some more kites next week. You can help me fly the bird now," said Peter. The wind grew stronger and stronger, and the boys flew the kite higher and higher. Have you got a kite? Have you flown a kite? It's really cool, but only on windy days. Night night.